So in previous class, we discussed voltage source, three-phase rectifiers. I think that you are already completed that. So in three-phase rectifiers, we already discussed that there are two different types. So one is the current control and the second one is voltage controlled. In current control, we will directly control the current. In case of voltage control, we will indirectly find out the modulating signal for the inverter, so that we will implement that modulating signal and the inverter current is indirectly controlled. So current control is a direct approach and indirect means voltage control is a indirect approach. In case of current control, you need to sense the source voltages, you need to sense these three-phase source voltages, and you need to sense the three-phase currents. In addition to that, you also need to sense the DC bus voltage or this DC side voltage. So whereas in voltage control methods, so in case of voltage control methods, so no need to sense the currents, no need to sense the currents, you need to sense this DC side voltage and you need to sense the AC side voltage. So if you compare these two methods, so current source method and current control method and this voltage control method, so the drawback with this voltage control method is this is parameter sensitive. The performance of this or the modulating signal magnitude and its frequency is depends on these parameters, especially these line parameters. So that is this resistance R and L. If we assume that this is a grid connected system, so if it is a grid connected system, it's difficult to find out this resistance and this inductance. So normally we insert some additional inductance, but you're not actually you're not actually aware of how much the resistance the grid is and how much inductance so the grid is having. So therefore in that case, so this gives you some error results. So therefore this is parameter sensitive. So whereas in this current control approach, so the main drawback in this current control approach is, so here this PWM generation, this PI controller, so inside this current controller we have this PI controller, right? So the drawback with this PI controller is, so the inputs for this PI controllers are in AC form. If you have AC inputs, so in that case the steady state error so will never be zero, so always some steady state error so will be present. So normally this PI controller will work with when you have the components, so both are DC, when the reference is DC and the actual one is DC, so it works well. But in this case, if you use a triangle carrier current controller, so the main drawback is, so the PI tuning is one of the drawback, right? And another thing is synchronization. So another thing is synchronization. So here, whatever that modulating signals for the reference signal, means whatever that modulating signals are we are generating for the triangle carrier. Signal means these reference signals or this reference reference. So these are normally known as unit templates. So we already discussed this. These are known as unit templates. So their value is always changing from +1 to -1. If it is sine wave, and this value is always changing from +1 to -1. So this is for A phase, this is for B phase, and this is for C phase. Right. So here, so let us assume that this is grid. It is connected to a grid. So that means in this case, so these will become grid voltages or this grid voltages in per unit form, right? So since we are multiplying with its peak value, so therefore we can expect that, so these are per unit form, so that is 1 per unit form, so that means it is varying from +1 to -1. So these are the grid voltages, right? So normally So when there is some disturbances, you cannot expect that this grid is always a pure sinusoidal, right? So we cannot expect that. So this grid is always pure sinusoidal. So obviously this grid is having some harmonics that are present. This grid is always having some harmonics that are present. So therefore, if there are harmonics in this grid or this grid is distorted, if this grid voltages are distorted, so what will happen? So these synchronizing signals, so these also will be, so these are also distorted. So simply what we are doing is whatever that we are just measuring these grid voltages and we are dividing with its peak value for A phase, B phase and C phase peak values. So the drawback is whatever the distortion is there, the same distortion is also present here. The same distortion is also present here. So when you give these distorted signals to this reference value, so obviously this will not give you the best performance, or this performance of this one will be reduced. So what we have to do is, so for that you need to identify a proper fundamental component inside these grid voltages. We need to identify a proper fundamental voltage inside these grid voltages. So there are several methods are there. So one of the method is unit vector generation using phase lock loops. Unit vector generation using phase lock loops. You might have studied this PLL, right? So why these PLLs are used? So what is the purpose of this PLL, phase lock loops? Okay, so you studied this anywhere? This PLLs in first semester, or maybe you have studied in BTech electronic circuits. You studied this? Yes or no?
In DSP we have.
In DSP you have studied this PLLs?
Yes, sir.
These PLLs are important. You have studied the synchronous reference frame, SRF PLL. You have studied this?
No sir, SRF we didn't.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, then we'll discuss these also, because so you need to understand, so the purpose of this PLL for three phase and single phase. So our objective is to connect to the grid, right? So when you're connecting to the grid, so you must synchronize with the grid. So for synchronization, you require these phase lock loops. So what is the main aim of this phase lock loops is, it is in working in a closed loop control systems. So it will locks the output and input frequencies, right? It will lock the output and input frequencies. So with some constant, it's a phase error. So with some constant phase error, okay. PLL, so it will locks the output and input frequencies with some constant phase error. So ideally that phase error is 0, so that there will be a perfect synchronization between this input and output of PLL. Okay, so when you are connecting to a grid, so obviously your converter is need to be synchronized. Your converter is need to be synchronized for real and reactive power flow. So why it is actually synchronized means, okay, so first we'll complete this and after that we will discuss so what is this PLL. So this is a unit vector generation based on this PLL. So in this, what we had to do is, so you required a three-phase PLL. You required a three-phase phase lock loop. So for that, the inputs are the source voltage. So for that, the inputs is source voltage or the grid voltages. So more specifically, the grid voltages. So generally phase lock loops, it gives you the three informations. So first is amplitude. So that gives you the phase amplitude in case of three phase, it will normally gives a phase amplitude or the fundamental quantity, right? And the second one is frequency. The second one is the frequency, and the third one is the phase component. So it gives you the amplitude and frequency and the phase component. So here you require this amplitude. Okay, you require this amplitude and this phase. And here you have this frequency. So let us assume that this amplitude is V. Okay, its amplitude is V phase, and its frequency in angular frequency, that is omega, and some phase so that is theta. So these V phase, omega and theta are the outputs of this phase lock loop. So assume that, so we are giving the three phase voltage sources or the grid voltages to a three phase lock loop. So outputs, the expected outputs are the phase voltage, angular frequency, is it in omega form or this frequency f form, and this frequency means this phase angle or this phase displacement, so that is theta, right? So therefore with this information, right, so with this information, right, so you can actually construct the modulating signals. So how to construct the modulating signals in this case? So here this A phase modulating signals will be, so this is magnitude, right? So root 2 V phase sine omega t plus theta. So that will be the A phase modulating signal. Similarly, you can construct the B phase and C phase modulating signals, right? So the advantage with this one is, so if you have distorted source voltages on one side, on the, so this before this PLL, so but here, so there is no distortions, so it will give you some fixed magnitude, and after that it is giving to you, you obtain this omega. Clear? It's clear? So you can reconstruct this root 3, this will be the modulating signal for A phase. Similarly, we can construct the modulating signal for B phase and C phase. Okay, so the advantage here is, so if you have any errors, or if the source voltage is distorted or the grid voltage is distorted, so those distortions are some of the distortions are can be eliminated, right? Still, if this amplitude of is moving, right, for example, this amplitude is moving in one cycle, for example, in one cycle the peak value is 300 volts, in other cycle the peak value is 301 volts or 300 volts, still this amplitude is varying, right? So this amplitude is varying, but this phase and frequency are locked. This phase and this frequency are locked. So some of this problem, so when we have this distorted supply voltage, so that can be overcome by using this unit vector generation using this phase lock loops. Is clear? So the idea is simple. Screen is visible?
No, sir.
It's not visible.
It seems to be stuck, sir.
When it is stopped?
Just now.
Okay. Just a minute. So now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So the idea is simple. So instead of measuring these voltages and dividing with its peak value, so we have to use this phase lock loop. So this phase lock loop gives you the frequency, phase angle, and the magnitude. So with that available data, with this data, so you need to reconstruct the synchronization signal for A phase, B phase, and C phase, right? So that is the idea. So with this, this some of the, if you have any distortions in the grid voltages, so those can be partially can be addressed. So those can be partially addressed, right?
Sir, hello.
Yes, yes,
I wasn't able to follow phase lock loop.
yeah. That we will discuss now. Okay, that we'll discuss. I told you, no, we'll discuss once this is completed. So there is another one. There is another drawback. So with this one is this PI controller. So in case of this AC inputs for a PI controller, right? So this can be overcome by using the synchronous reference pair. So this one is a stationary PI. So if we have inside this PI, right? So this is usually a stationary PI. So we have also the synchronous PI. We have also the synchronous PI. So where the synchronous PI, the PI parameters, so as in a synchronous reference frame. So that we will discuss now. So you might have studied the synchronous reference frame theory, right? So the circuit will be like this. So for that particular case, the circuit will be like this. So you have these grid side voltages. So it is giving to a voltage source inverter, and so you have this DC side, and after that, so this is connected to a DC load, right? So in case of synchronous reference frame, so based controller, so first thing is, so what we have to do is, so we need to sense these voltages. This is VSA, so this is VSB, and this is VSC. Similarly, we need to sense these currents. So this is ISA, ISB, and ISC. So these are the three-phase source currents and three-phase source voltages. So first step is, right, the first step is what we have to do is, so we need to, right, so we need to convert these voltages in synchronous reference frame, right? So we need to convert this into synchronous reference frame. So that is DQ reference frame. So you already studied that. So reference frames, right? So different reference frame. One is the stationary reference frame, synchronous reference frame, and rotor reference frame. All those things so you're already studied. So here, so these are the supply voltages. So this VSA, so VSB, and this is VSC, right? So for that, so first thing is you want to convert this into so DQ reference frame. So you can directly do that, or first you'll just convert this ABC to DQ reference or alpha beta reference frame. So this is the stationary reference frame. So now you will get IS alpha, so VS alpha and VS beta. So these things you need to convert into DQ reference frame. So let us assume that this is the balanced supply. So if it is a balanced thing, so that that Q component will be zero. So that zero component will be not present. So here you have this alpha beta. So this one is Clark transformation, and this is Park transformation, right? So here this is three-phase to two-phase conversion, and here this two-phase quantities will become DC quantities here, right? So what is the input, this Park transformation? What is the input? What is the input for this Park transformation? So what additional information you require if you are doing it a Park transformation?
Omega.
Not omega, right? See, from omega, yeah, omega from, so exactly what you require is angular
Speed of the reference.
angular speed, and that means from that angular speed you're supposed to get the angular, what is that, angular displacement, right? So that means you require theta. Okay, so how that theta is obtained? How that theta is obtained?
Theta is omega, integral omega.
Not from that, how that omega is obtained then?
Tan inverse of V beta by V alpha.
So V beta, no, that not gives you omega, right? So how, see in your this reference frame, right? So what is the formula for that coefficient? This is cos theta minus 2 pi by 3 cos theta minus 4 pi by 3 and so on, right? So that is a matrix, right? So in that, so how that theta is actually obtained? So for obtaining the theta, you require this phase lock loop. Okay. So that gives you the angular displacement. So here these inputs are three phase source voltages, that is VSA-BC. So that is VSA, VSB, and so VSC. So it gives you the two components, right? So that gives you the theta component. In other words, so that gives you the sine theta component and also gives you the cos theta component, or simply it will gives you theta. So these are the inputs for these additional inputs for this conversion. So this is the sine theta term and this is the cos theta term. Is clear? So that's why I asked the questions. You are not studied these phase lock loops. Okay. So for basic conversion to obtain this omega or this theta or this amplitude, so these phase lock loops are necessary. Clear? Right. So this is dq transformation is over. So from this you obtain this VSQ and this is VSD. So this is VSQ and so this is VSD. Similarly, this currents, the source currents, so we also need to convert into alpha beta reference frame. So this is ABC. So this is ISABC. So there's a three phase voltages. Again, this is converted to alpha beta to DQ. So now this is ISD and this is ISQ. Right. So this will be the actual source currents or this actual supply currents in DQ reference frame. Again, for this conversion, you require this cos theta and sin theta here, right? For alpha beta, so this theta is not right. For alpha beta, for the path transformation, you require this phase displacement information, right? Yeah. So now, right. So now you have. So let us assume that so IS D star and IS Q star are the references or reference currents in DQ reference frame. Let us assume that so ISD and ISQ are the reference currents in DQ reference frame. So we will discuss this. So how this will be, how these reference currents are actually generated. So that we will discuss later. So let us assume that ISD and ISQ are the reference currents in DQ reference frame. Right. So these are the actual currents in DQ reference frame and these are the reference currents in DQ reference frame. It's clear? It's clear. So now we have this comparison. So these are the reference one and these are the actual one. So this is minus here, plus here. So this is minus here and plus here. So this is ISD star and this is ISQ star. Yeah. Right. So after that, so now, so these two things are DC signals, right? You're aware of this, right? So when you're doing alpha beta, so here you will get a two-phase quantities, so which are 90 degrees. And after that, in DQ transformation, so these time varying quantities will become constants, right? So now the inputs for this PI controller are DC. Now the inputs for this PI controller is actually DC, right? So here, so these two will generate, right? So whatever that these two will generate, so after that we need to convert this into, so now these are in DQ form. So first we convert back to alpha beta reference frame, and after that, so we convert back to alpha beta to ABC reference frame. So that generates the reference signal in ABC form. So this is the modulating signal for A phase. So this is modulating signal for B phase, and this is modulating signal for C phase. It's clear? Right. So everything is same. So whatever we done earlier, right? So now earlier we are done in ABC reference frame. So now we are doing the same thing in synchronous reference frame or this DQ reference frame. So first we are changing that ABC to alpha beta reference frame, from alpha beta to so DQ reference frame by using this Clark and Fark transformation. So now these quantities will become DC. So therefore this PI controller so will work better. So when compared to that earlier one, so this one will gives you some better performance. Clear? So how to generate this modulate, how to generate these reference signals by using these voltages and other parameters, by using this DC voltages and all. So that we will discuss later. Clear? Is clear? So everything is same. So earlier we are doing in ABC reference frame. So now we are doing in alpha beta or sorry DQ reference frame or the synchronous reference frame. Okay. Any questions? You have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay then. Okay. So we'll continue this one. So after discussing this phase lock loops. So generally these phase lock loops are used for synchronization purpose. If you want in electrical applications, these are also used in electronic applications for some other purpose. So but in our electrical system, so if you want to connect to a grid, so for to connect a grid for anything, if you have solar or if you have some wind power generation or anything, right? So any renewable energy, if you want to connect to a grid, or if anyone any motor or anything you want to connect to a grid, so you require these phase lock loops. Okay, so what this phase lock loops is it will lock the frequency, means output frequency, to the input frequency with some constant phase error. So ideally this phase error is 0, but obviously there is some small steady state error is present. So these are generally phase lock loops. We have phase lock loops are there, and single phase lock loops are there. So most of these phase lock loops, it consists of 3 different parts. This phase lock loop consists of 3 different parts. So one is the PD, so that is phase detection. So this is phase detection. So first one is this phase detection, and the second one is this LP, that is loop filter, LF. Okay, loop filter, and another one is VCO. What is VCO? What is this VCO? So this is voltage controlled oscillator. Okay, so this is voltage controlled oscillator. So this phase detection will gives you or it is containing this information about the theta. This loop filter is basically operate in closed loop, right? The first one is this phase detector. So it will generate a phase error signal, right? Phase error signal. So that is a signal so that contains the error between the real and estimated phases. It contains the error between the real and estimated. That means real phase angle, that is theta and some theta dash, right? So this theta dash is the estimated by the phase lock loop. And the second part is this loop filter, so which is mainly responsible for suppressing these disturbances inside this control loop. Okay, so this loop filter is used to subside the disturbances inside this control loop. So this is generally the dynamic tracking, most of the characteristics of these phase lock loops. So that is the dynamic response, this tracking, phase angle tracking characteristics, and the stability performance. So of all these, most of these are depends on this loop filter only. And this one, this voltage source controller, so it will generate the, based on that information, generally voltage source controller, it gives you some voltage signal, right? It look like a sensor kind of thing, right? If you give some voltage signal, so corresponding to that voltage, it will generate the frequency or this phase angle component, right? So this you might have studied in this BTEC, right? It's the different circuits we have this, right? So this is voltage controlled oscillator. So based on the synchronization, means based on the input, so it will generate a synchronization signal, or right. So that is the purpose of this voltage source, this voltage controlled oscillator. So we have different types of three-phase PLLs are there. So one of the most common PLL is this synchronous reference frame theory based PLL. Synchronous reference frame theory based PLL. Okay. Actually, I don't exactly remember. Okay, let us assume that so we have these three-phase voltages. So say it is Vm cos theta. So this is Vm cos theta minus 120 degrees and Vm cos theta minus 240 degrees. So let us assume that, so these are the three-phase voltages, right? So these are the three-phase voltages. So if you want to convert this into DQ reference, so first what we have to do is we need to convert these three-phase quantities into reference, this three-phase into synchronous frame, in a synchronous frame, right? So this is TABC to alpha. We need to do that, right? So for that, so what is the transformation matrix? So it is 2 by 3. So 0 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 0. So root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2, I think. So plus, this is plus, right? And this is minus root 3 by 2. This is plus and this is minus, right? Agree? Correct? Alpha beta 2. So DQ reference frame. So this is cos theta and sin theta and minus sin theta and cos theta. So this is ABC to alpha and alpha to ABC reference frame, right? Okay. So keep this aside. So first we will see, so what is there in this PLL. So first and foremost thing is, so these are the ABC and this is alpha beta, and these are the grid voltages. So I assume that this is VGA, VGB and VGC. So these are the grid voltages, VGA, GB and VGC. Okay. So first we'll convert this into alpha beta reference frame. So it will gives you this V alpha, VG alpha and VG beta. So again, by using this alpha to DQ reference frame, so we'll convert this into DQ reference frame. So this gives you VGD and this gives you VGQ, grid voltages in DQ reference frame. right? So here, so this contains the magnitude information, and whereas this contains the phase angle information. So we'll discuss this. So how this phase angle information is inside this one. So let us assume that, so this is contains the magnitude information and it contains the phase angle information, right? So this entire thing is phase detection. So this entire thing is the phase detection, right? So this is magnitude. If you want magnitude, so we will use only this one, right? If you have some noise in this magnitude, so we normally require a filter, normally require a low pass filter. So low pass filter, it will be something like this with some gain. So some S plus KV. So KV is the voltage gain or this gain of this low pass filter. So this is essentially a low pass filter. The first one gives you the magnitude component, right? And the second one will gives you the frequency component, right? So here, so let us assume that you are aware that this, right? So you are aware this DQ transformation. If this DQ transformation, if D axis is aligned to A axis, so what is the value of this VD and VQ? If this VD is aligned to VA, right? This VD is aligned to VA. So what is the magnitude of VD and VQ? You might have studied, right? If this VD is aligned to VA, so what is its magnitude? No. Okay. So if it is VD is aligned, so for example, this is A, this A, B, and this is PC. So we have this D axis, and in quadrature with this, so this VQ axis and this VD axis, right? So if this both are aligned, or the steady state or this angular frequency between these two are same, or in this case, what will happen? So whatever that magnitude that A phase is having, so that is also having the same magnitude, right? And in this case, this Q axis magnitude will become 0. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
If this D axis is aligned to A axis, right? So in that case, what will happen? This VD will become, the magnitude of this VD will become VA, and this VQ component will become 0. That is the basic thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here also, so this one, that's why, right? So that's why it is having, this Q axis is having the voltage information, right? So that is having the voltage magnitude information. So theoretically, right? So theoretically, it is complete when the steady state error between the, when the frequency or the phase angle between this grid and the output of the PLL, so both are identical. So in this case, this V, this will be 0. Okay. If this is having some output voltage, and this is having some frequency, this is having some theta, right? So if this theta and this is having some theta, right? So if both are equal, so in that case, so this will be gives you the amplitude, and this it will be exactly 0. But practically, so this is different and this is different. Some minute change will be, means minute difference will be there exist, right? Okay. So here it contains the phase angle information. So this is given to a PI controller, right? So this is given to a PI controller. So that gives you the phase angle error. So that is delta omega. So we will discuss this. So why we require this PI controller, and so for that, so we will add the, so for that, so we will add the omega n, or this is the expected or the nominal frequency of grid. Okay. So this is the phase angle difference. and this is the nominal frequency of the grid, or the grid frequency, right? So this gives you the omega g. It gives you the omega g, right? So this is estimated by PLL. Okay, so this is estimated by PLL. So omega n is the grid frequency, omega g, or to avoid confusion, so omega g is the grid frequency, and omega g bar, or omega g, this one is omega g bar is the estimated frequency of this PLL, right? So here this omega, right? So how to get this angular frequency or angular, you know, the angular speed. So from angular speed, if you want this angle or angular displacement, so how to do that? So you need to integrate that, right? So here you have this 1 by s. So that gives you the theta dash. So this is output of that is angular difference, or angular what we say, that is the angular, that is the phase angle estimated by this PLL. So this is phase angle estimated by PLL. So you'll understand more here. So this is, for example, this is Vm. For example, A phase voltage is sine omega g, right? Omega g plus theta g. Okay. So this is Vm. The grid voltages are Vm sine omega g plus theta g. Or you can omit this omega g plus theta. So whereas here, what exactly this is estimated is Vm, right, sine omega g dash plus theta dash, theta bar. So these are the estimated values and these are the actual values. Clear? So these are the estimated one and these are the actual one. Right. So here we have this PI controller, right? So the objective of this PI controller is make to steady state error 0, right? The objective of this PI controller is 0, right? So therefore, so we can expect that this is close to 0. So this may be close to 0. So under steady state, we can expect that this is close to 0. So therefore, right, if this error is completely 0, so in that case, this omega g here, this omega g bar will be omega g, that is equal to this grid voltage, right? So this is what we have. Clear? So this is known as, this portion is phase detection and this is loop filter. So whereas this one is the voltage controlled oscillator, VCO. From the angular data, you are generating the angular, this angular phase angle. From the angular frequency, you are measuring or you are estimating the angular phase angle. So that is voltage controlled, right? So here this theta, right? So this is the estimated phase angle of the PLL. So this is the actual phase angle of this PLL. And this is the actual this is the actual phase angle of grid, and this is the actual phase angle of this actual phase. This is the this is omega of this grid. So whereas this is the estimated one, estimated by PLL, and this is estimated by PLL. So theoretically or ideally, this omega g should be equal to this omega g dash, and this is theta is identically theta dash, right? Yeah, if these both are same, so in that case this PLL is a perfect PLL, right? So here this is this requires this dq this synchronous frame theory, right? This synchronous frame transformation, it continuously requires the information of theta. So for that, the input is this one. This is obtained by so this is sine theta dash and this is cos theta dash. So one is the sine theta dash and another one is the cos theta dash. So this gives you the theta bar in closed loop. This is the feed forward network. So this is the feed forward system. It's clear? So this is a synchronous reference frame based this PLL. So now the question is, so you're already aware that this d-axis component consists of the magnitude information, but this q-axis is consists of phase angle information. So that how it is. So we'll see now. Right. So now come to our these equations. Right. So now come to this equation. So theta is the grid frequency and this theta bar is the estimated frequency, right? So this theta bar is the estimated frequency. So but the PLL input for this one is this theta bar. The PLL so input or this this transformation input this for this one is PLL. So if we transform this one into DQ component, these grid voltages, so it will be, so it is Vm, right, cos theta minus theta bar, right? This is agree. So this is Vd and this Vq component is Vm sine theta minus theta bar. Okay. You're aware of this, right? So when you have two reference frames, right? If you have two different frequencies, so this is the one, right? You studied this, right? Okay, so how to understand this? So this is A, S, BS, and this is CS. So let us assume that, so this is making theta angle and this is making theta dash angle. Okay. So now how this VD and this VQ are defined? So likewise, right? If this is the case, so in that case we have only this Vm cos theta and this Vm sin theta, right? So Vm cos theta and Vm sin theta. If this theta is 0, so in that particular case, this VDQ will be 0 or this equal to this Vm, right? And this VQ of T will become 0. In case this theta is 0 and this theta dash is not present. So this is the transformation. So when you have two different angular frequencies. You have studied this, right? Studied or not? So this is actually, you might have studied the synchronous machine modeling. Synchronous machine modeling. So here this theta, somewhere you will get these equations like sine theta minus theta r, right? So this theta is the arbitrary reference frame omega, and this is because of omega r, right? The same case here. So this is due to omega grid, and this is due to omega grid error. Or this is not error. This is the due to this. This is for grid, and this is PLL. You remember this? When you model the synchronous machine in rotor reference frame, so this is the equations, or this is the equations you will get between the mutual inductance between the rotor and starter. You remember that? It consists of sine theta minus theta r terms. So one is the arbitrary one, and this omega r is the rotor reference one. Okay. So with this, right, so normally, so this difference between these two is very small, right? The difference between, so these two is very small, right? Agree? This theta grid and theta estimated by this PLL, so almost same. So this is multiplied with cos, right? Or this is with cos angle. So therefore this angle is very small, or it is almost equal to 0. So therefore cos 0. So now you have this magnitude component. So you have this magnitude component, right? So whereas here this is sine terms, so this is also very small. So we have this fundamental thing, right? Sine theta, if it is theta value is very small, we have this theta. You remember this? This theta is very small, for example 1 degree or 2 degree. So in that case we can expect the sine theta is theta. In the same way, so this can be written as Vm into theta minus theta dash, because the difference is very small. It's clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why this d-axis contains the amplitude. Okay, this d-axis contains the amplitude, and this q-axis contains the phase angle difference, right? This contains this data, or in other words, this is theta minus theta dash. So that is the steady state error, right? So that is the steady state error. So this is the same thing, right? So this gives you the steady state error. So when you are gain of this one, or when you are dividing with its peak value, so that gives you the steady state error, and the steady state error you are giving it to a PI controller. Clear? The object of this PI control is make the steady state error 0, right? The object of this PI controller is make this steady state error 0, and later we are this is later we are added to this grid frequency. So that is, for example, if you have 50 Hz grid frequency, so that is 50 Hz here, adding here, that is in terms of angular speed, and this will be the estimated speed of estimated angular speed of the PLL. Is clear? So now I think you understood, right? So one contains the magnitude information, d-axis contains the magnitude information, and q-axis contains the phase angle information. Okay, so here this can be written as, for example, if you want this theta, right, or this grid phase angle, so this is omega g dt. Agree? This is the grid one, right? Similarly, we have this theta dash. So this is omega. This is for grid, and this is for PLL output, or the estimated by the PLL. Is clear? Agree? So this we can write like this. So this omega g is the omega n. So that is the nominal frequency, or this one, or this omega n, plus this grid error, right? That is error that is generated by this one. So this we can, this is dt. So this can be written as omega n dt plus delta omega g dt. So this will be, so we can theta n, that is the nominal frequency, and this is delta theta, or this angular error. Same thing. So this is omega n, and this is delta omega g. So this is omega n dt plus this omega g dt. So this is theta n, and this is delta theta dash. Clear? So therefore we have this Vd of t, right? So this is Vm cos theta minus theta dash, right? So this is theta and this is theta dash. So therefore, so theta is theta n plus delta theta, and this is delta l plus delta theta, right? So therefore this Vm cos theta n plus delta theta, the first term, minus of this theta n plus this delta theta. So this theta n will be cancelled. So you're left with cos delta theta minus clear? Right. This is the error between these two. So this is approximately equal to this Vm. Similar this Vq of t. So this is V sine, what is there? Theta n, and that means same thing it will come, right? We're doing it the same delta theta minus delta theta dash. So this is equal to V into delta theta minus delta theta dash. Okay, so this contains the magnitude information, and it contains the phase angle information in Perter form. It's clear. So the idea is simple, right? The idea is simple. So we have this grid voltages. So grid voltages first will convert into alpha beta reference frame. From that, you'll convert into DQ reference frame. Okay. So what we observed that if the feedback angle, right, if the angle is theta dash, or this output, if you feed forward it, so we observed that, so this D axis contains the magnitude information. This D axis contains the magnitude information, and this Q axis contains the phase angle information, right? Phase angle information. So if you want magnitude, right, if you want magnitude, you just connect a low pass filter, just filter out that, to filter out some high frequency components. So just an optional low pass filter. So that gives you the magnitude, right? That gives you the phase magnitude, either it in the peak form or it in the RMS form. So come to this. So this VDQ, so that contains the steady state error between the grid phase angle and the estimated PLL phase angle. It contains the steady state error between the grid phase angle and estimated phase angle of PLL. So that means it contains the theta minus theta dash, right? So this is the steady state error. So the steady state error is given to a PI controller, and this is the steady state error. So it is always trying to reduce this, right? And this is the nominal frequency or the expected frequency or the general frequency. For example, if the grid voltage is there, right? So this is the 50 Hz frequency. So the input for this one is 50 Hz, right? And this is the error. Okay, so this is the error, or this is the deviation for that 50 Hz component, right? So that gives you the, right, so if you add this one, so that gives you the estimated phase, the angular speed of PLL. By integrating this one, so you will get the phase angle. So that gives you omega of the estimate grid, and this gives you the theta of the grid, like this. Okay, so this is a feed forward network. So whatever the theta is obtained, right, so that is feeding back to this transformation. Okay, so that's why it is known as this, up to this DQ, or up to finding out this VDQ and VDQ. So that is the phase detection. You're detecting the phase, and this loop filter, right? So this loop filter, the characteristics or the dynamics of this PLL, so that depends on this loop filter, right? Again, you need to tune this PI controller. Again, we need to properly tuning this PI controller to make the steady state error 0, right? And this one, if you have that steady state voltage, or if you have some voltage, or if you have some angular speed, so that speed is converting into a angular, that phase angle. So by using this voltage controlled oscillator. So generally, so this is the basic three-phase synchronous reference frame theory based PLL. Okay. Right. So whatever is there, right? Generally, there is no change in this phase detection. So most of the cases, they normally to improve this performance of this phase lock loop. So they normally work on this this loop filter only. Okay. Right. Again, this whatever that PLL, this voltage core, this VCO, that is voltage controlled oscillator, is normally remains same. Generally, its phase detection is remain same, and this voltage controlled oscillator, so that is also remain same. So only change that we can expect is designing a proper loop filter. Designing a proper loop filter. Okay. Generally, these this is the common type. This is synchronous reference frame PLL. Sometimes what will happen, this PI controller will gives you some time delay, right? So therefore, this integral term, it gives you some time delay. Sometimes they normally what we have to do is they will add some moving average filter. So here they normally add some moving average filter with some window time. Okay. So that will reduce the steady state error. So this is about the basic of this three-phase based PLL. Okay. So if you have any doubts, any questions? So we have written after that, once this theta is obtained, right, we can generate the sine theta term and we can generate this cos theta term. So those are the inputs, right? Here we are generated this cos theta and sine theta, right? So these are the inputs. Yeah, any doubts? Generally, this is, remember. So this PLL, so we can find out its transfer function. Okay, we can find out its transfer function. It's very simple. I just remember. So I will try to draw that. We have this grid error, right? So this is the omega, that is the error. So that is given to this omega s. So that gives you this error, right? This delta theta. Okay. So this we are added together. This plus here, right? So from that, so what we have, that we have this sine term, right? So this is the sine term. So this delta theta, this theta t, so this is in terms of this omega g, right? So this is delta theta and this is delta theta dash. This one we are implemented so far. Okay, from this delta omega g, by integrating that, so you obtain this delta theta, and we are adding this delta theta, or we are actually subtracting this. So this v into delta theta minus delta theta, and that we are multiplying with this sine. Again, we are multiplying this voltage value, either it's maybe peak value or this RMS value. So that gives you this VQ of t component, right? So this VQ of t component, so that we gives to a PI controller, right? So this PI controller, so it is in this form, this Kp into some S, some Ki by S, right? Ki SKP by, this is a PI controller, and this gives you the delta omega g dash, right? This one, right? And after integrating this one, so that gives you the theta, or this delta theta. Again, this is connected here. clear? It's clear? So this is, so how we will model this. So we have this term, this is from based on that. So we have the sine omega t. So that is the q-axis term. And this is given to a PI controller. So we have given this a PI controller, right? So we have given this one to a PI controller that gives you this delta omega. And this delta omega, we are actually feed forwarding it, right? Clear? So this is the transfer function, or this nonlinear, this is the model of that. Right. So this one actually it is a nonlinear model. So why it is nonlinear? Because of the sine term. So this is nonlinear. Okay. So we can make this linear, or we can approximately make this linear. So since these values are whatever this delta theta and delta theta dash, we already assume that these values are so very small. We can actually remove this component. We can actually remove this sine component. Okay. We can actually remove the sine component so that it will become a linear one. Okay. So because sine theta equal to theta, so when this theta is very small, so therefore we can neglect that. We can neglect that. Clear? So this is nonlinear and linear model. So from that you can actually draw its stability characteristics. Clear? So you have any questions? Okay, I will cross check once again. Actually, whatever I remember, I'm just discussing with you. Right. I will cross check these equations once. It's clear? So you have any questions? If you have no questions, I will stop here.